Aisha Vijayanayaka. I have raised 2 children. They are all adult children now. And I have a degree in Bachelor of Nursing Sciences, double degree, and I'm a registered nurse. Let's talk about children and individuality. Please remember, every child is an individual. If you have number 1, number 2, there'll be marked difference between the two. Just because your first child achieved remarkably, and maybe because he's a boy, the second child may not do the same thing. So we tend to force our children and say, now do this, do that. Ayya did this, Akka did this, Malli did this, so why can't you do it? This is not necessary. Every child is an individual and has this, they bring a whole heap of things into this world. Even if you take a dyslexic child or a child has one limb, you will find he or she will compensate for it with a whole heap of plethora of other talents. So as a mother or a father or a guardian of that child, what you need to do is spend time trying to figure out early in life where this child's talents lie, and then giving him this sense, no, you only have one arm, but with this other arm you can do a whole heap of other things. And you see this positive reinforcement of a child. For instance, a child is doing a little drawing. Please remember, this child is drawing at his level. The head is here, there is no neck. Please remember, people often show you pictures of little children who have drawn things, there is no neck. Simply not, because their idea of where the neck is, the hands actually come out of the head. Just next time when you're doing a drawing, have a look. So you don't have to insist, there is no neck here, make a varadi. You can't say that. That is that child's perception of a human being. So what you got to do is say, this is wonderful, this is fantastic, you've done a really good job, Puta or Dua. Let's now put a neck. Do you know there's a neck from here to here? This absolute delight in what they do, whether they're playing with some sand pit or pouring water from one jug to another. I found negative criticism without any base actually demeans them. They feel, well, this was worthless. Whatever I did was absolutely worthless. But this positive reinforcement, this, you will find children will do things to please you. They actually want to please you. They want to get this adoration about, I am good, I am very good, Tati loves me, Ammi loves me, Auntie loves me. So what they do is they do things to please you. But if you're not happy with what they're doing, they're going to keep doing it, and finally, after a while, they're going to get exasperated, and they're going to say, no, make a vadak naha, no point doing this anymore. No, I don't seem to be able to please them. So they give up. So where shall we point the blame there? Not at the child, but at the adult who has no idea how to guide the child. So where is this? What do? We must positively reinforce some degree of worth in the child. You have to say, Puta, you dress beautifully. And you know something, they tend to listen to, say your friend came along. These children are listening. Believe me, they're listening. They're listening to when their name will come up. Often they're waiting for you to mention their name. And if within earshot, you're telling them, you know, Ruan today got A in his work and he made 85%. Now this child is saying, Amma is very happy with this, she's telling people. But if you're telling somebody, oh, this child is useless at school, he's not having a good time, he's having problems. Now in that child's mind, not only Amma, some other person knows as well. He's upset. So please don't talk about your children to other people. There's absolutely no need to share your child's private life with everybody else. Deal with it with yourself and your partner and the child. Sometimes the other siblings need not know either. because there's taunting between siblings. Ayya will taunt Nangi, Ayo, you can't do this, you're brilliant, you're useless. Amma said so, Nanda said so. It happens. So none of this talking about the children within earshot or at all. Possibly their faults and their talents need not be discussed. Think of it as being humble about your achievements. Then the children know also not to go about boasting to other people about how good I am, how bad I am. These things that we do reinforce certain behaviors in our children. So what do? We have to actually spend a lot of time watching our children all the time. We're too busy in our own lives. We want to socialize, we are having a dinner, so we get the children to work around us. We don't work around the children's needs. Then why have children? Unless you're willing to put in this hard yard, don't have them. People often have them as, because we have to have children. We are married now. People have said have children. So we've done it. Now it's an appendage. It's saying, oh, I have a boy, I have a girl. It's all very well, but nobody's spending time with them. If there's a grandmother or a grandfather, they might. But please, they've only got you, nobody else. They have nobody else in this life. So that's my thing on individuality and how to treat them as individuals and have respect for them.